Yo guys, hope you're having a really awesome day. My day is going pretty good so far. As you can see, I am in a different sort of location I've not shown you before. So today you actually join me in the wonderful location of Joss Bay. This is located in southeast of England, near Margate, Ramsgate on the Isle of Thanet, which isn't actually an island anymore, but that's a story for another tale. So the reason why I thought I'd bring you to Joss Bay is not only is it really beautiful here, so I thought I'd get some beautiful shots, but also the history of the place. So the name Joss Bay actually originated from the famous smuggler Jos Snelling. He kind of was apparently in the area from roughly 1750-ish to 1830 kind of thing, before his demise. But there wasn't actually any real official proof that he kind of operated in the area for a long period of time until later on in his life. It was just kind of a lot of folklore. Later on in his life, he did actually get prosecuted for being a smuggler and kind of almost boasted about operating in this area, and he got, I think it was about £100 fine, which was quite light because a lot of the people that he kind of worked with got fairly substantial prison sentences and things, which I guess he's kind of lucky. He then developed a sort of celebrity status of the area, and now in this modern era, he's actually he's very promoted in this area, kind of almost celebritized in being this famous character that operates in this area. So as you can see, the shoreline with its many bays in this area lends itself to having lots of hiding places for smugglers to kind of hide and dig tunnels. If you look right the way down the end there, you'll see there's a big arch which was almost definitely used in these times. I'll take you down onto the beach shortly, and I think there's several places in which you can kind of see arches and so on where smugglers operated. But as I'm sure you will agree, it's a very beautiful area. Looking down onto the beach just below us here, you can see what looks like a dark black mass, and what that is, that's seaweed covering a beautiful chalk reef. And that's very similar to the chalk reef that we have in Kingsdown, near where I live. These are all protected sites because they're a real thriving community for wildlife, where you get, well, many species of crab. Birds will come here to feed, and and shrimps among the rest. You now join me down on the beach of Joss Bay. When you get down here, a real sense of just the size of the place is really apparent. It's this really beautiful way that the actual beach itself is shaped. As you can see up on the left hand side over there, the beach kind of goes up and draws up the side of the cliff to almost halfway up the cliffside there. It's a really beautiful shape, this whole the whole bay is, with its many alcoves, and just the way the whole coastline just juts out and then juts out again on the next bay. It's a really beautiful area, and I highly recommend anyone, if you ever get the chance to come down here. As it's springtime, it's very quiet today. You can see it's almost desolate. There's no one about, only just a few people just wandering around, or dog walkers. In the summer, this place is an absolute tourist magnet and local magnet. There can be anything from 1,000 to maybe 20,000 people on this one tiny little beach. That is true, guys. I've seen this beach completely covered with towels and people in the sea. It's a really beautiful place and location. So out to sea here behind me, we have two massive wind farms. Now these have been introduced within the last 10 years, and as far as I'm aware, they supply a lot of power for the local area, if not the whole area. This whole of area in Kent is very green. We have lots of wind farms and lots of solar farms as well. These two have now become almost a nature reserve in their own right, because the way the actual turbine itself goes down into the seabed has now become a area for lots of fish breeding, and lots of fish like to live. I think this is partly one because it now creates a solid structure out there which fish can either kind of consider a bit of a safe place, or they can spawn against. Also, I'm sure there'll be a considerable amount of heat coming off of these things. They have got a lot of moving parts in there, and they are potential. They are essentially bringing a lateral current from all the way out there to the coast here. I personally feel that they are quite a beautiful thing to look at, quite majestic the way they just slowly turn around, but there are lots of people that would highly disagree and say that these things are not good at all. They look ugly and an eyesore, but I'll leave that down to your own discretion to see what you think of them. So as you can see, we've got several flocks of Canadian geese that have just currently flown in. I'm guessing that these have just flown back from being in warmer pastures for the winter. As I'm sure you are currently aware, that the weather here in England in springtime is now getting quite beautiful. It's about 10 degrees today, not too sure what that is in Fahrenheit. So it's not extraordinary for these birds to be coming back around now. This is quite a new thing for me. I didn't actually realise that Canada geese, or Canadian geese, whatever you want to call them, actually land in the sea. These birds are currently just off the coastline here, well, very close in. I'm sure they're touching the bottom, but they appear to be feeding on something, maybe parts of seaweed or other little creatures that are around them right now. It's quite interesting. They look very beautiful, and it's quite impressive when you think just how far these birds go. I couldn't tell you the exact distance because they all go all over the place, but I know that they do travel thousands of miles at a time, which is absolutely beautiful. Nature is one special thing, that's for sure. Well, isn't that just super special? As you can see, we've got a paraglider currently flying down below cliff level and through the bays. I'm sure he's getting a really nice view of the whole area from there. Just look at the way he soars around. How beautiful. So I hope you've enjoyed my brief exploration of Joss Bay. This is a really beautiful little place. I'll put the links below for some sort of area guide so you guys can see it. And yeah, remember guys, it's now or never, so stay positive, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.